Hey YouTube, I'm Kara and welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna give you some info all about me, because I figure if we're hanging out and you're like in my room with me, you should know a little bit about me. So here we go. All right. I'm 32. I have been living in Philadelphia for a little over a year now, which is crazy. I got here last March. Moved from North Carolina, had lived in North Carolina my whole entire life, and made this really big, crazy life change. So, Sterling is my 13-year-old black lab. I've had him since he was 5, and let me tell y'all, he's just the sweetest boy. I have a home Instagram account, Girl Gone City, and so oftentimes on there I get questions of like, how did I get to Philadelphia? Where did I move from? What do I do for work? Full-time, I work as a speech pathologist. And I love my job. And back, I used to live in North Carolina, and down there I owned a home. I know that I wanted to do a lot of like DIYs, light fixtures, change paint, things like that. And so I love all things like creative. I like to scrapbook. I was on yearbook staff, things like that. So I kind of had this idea to do a home Instagram to kind of document before and afters and the transformations of my home as a way for me to kind of have a virtual scrapbook. Well, I built a fence. I can use power tools. I can change out a light fixture. I realized there was this whole community, this home community on Instagram that was so inspiring, and I've met so many wonderful people. So it's kind of how it all got started. From there, when I moved to Philadelphia, it's kind of shifted because now I rent rather than own. And while I do a few renter-friendly DIYs here and there, I'm more so spending my time just really enjoying the city of Philadelphia. I'm having a really fun time. How did I get here? I lived in North Carolina my whole entire life. I did the Charlotte thing, Durham, Chapel Hill, Greensboro, Wilmington. In my early 30s, was dating, was not particularly having much luck dating. Wasn't going well. So many of my friends were married and having kids of their own, and while just feeling a little like restless, a little bored, I wanted a challenge and I wanted change, I think. So I had always wanted to live in the middle of a big city, on a top floor somewhere, like all the lights. I just love the city vibe. When I moved to Charlotte, I did not live in Uptown. I lived in South Park. It wasn't quite the city experience that I was hoping for. So come Christmas, my family was visiting, and I was like, I stay up all night long, night after night, just thinking, I know I want to try something else. I want to go do something. I know I want to have an adventure, but I just don't know where to go. New York, too big. Like, whoa, no. Chicago was way too cold. I grew up at the beach, y'all. Like, whoo, too cold. The West Coast felt a little too far. I didn't really want to go further south than I already was at. So my sister was like, have you ever considered Philadelphia? No, I don't even really know where Philadelphia is at. I mean, I knew about where it was, but I know nothing about Philadelphia. And she was like, I think you would really love it. We went recently to visit friends, and it's a stellar city vibe, but not overwhelming like New York. It's got great art. Apparently it's got great food. It's near the water. Something about me, if my older sister says to do something, I do it. I just trust her blindly. The one who told me to be a speech pathologist, so shout out to my sister, thank you. We were all stuck in the house with COVID. Spent that time starting to explore Philadelphia virtually. Got really excited to think about this adventure. Within that same week, I talked to my boss at the time. They completely supported me. Thankfully, as a speech pathologist, it is relatively easy for me to get a new job or applied to a few and had a couple interviews. And within 2 weeks, I had made the decision that I was gonna take this jump, this leap, make the jump, take the leap. The home I owned at the time, I was toying with the idea, should I keep it to rent? After some thought, talking with my parents, talking with my sister, pro-con listing, it just felt like managing an older home from that far away and managing renters and things just felt stressful. The market was great at the time, so I decided to go ahead and put it on the market and sell it. Thankfully, it sold quickly, and I parted ways with the home I loved so much. So once I got the new job and accepted the new job, the apartment search was on. Moving to a city is so overwhelming. So any way you can narrow it down. So if you know what part you want to live, that can be a great help. For me, I knew I wanted Center City. So I really just searched Center City apartments on Google. And I just looked through photos and reviews and location. I really didn't too much consider living in any other neighborhood. That is kind of what had happened in Charlotte, and I kind of had regrets about that for me personally. So I wish that I had tried the Uptown thing. So this was just kind of important for me to say, okay, I'm really only gonna narrow down and look in Center City. All that being said, I did tour one in Northern Liberties and I really loved it and I really loved the neighborhood. But after some debate, it was that reminder that like, I know no one, the place to meet more people is Center City. Bless my parents, I was thinking about coming sight unseen completely, but my parents were like, how about you just get a flight and head up there? Which is what I did. My mom met me up here. We toured 7 apartments. We tried our first Philly cheesesteak, my first cheesesteak like ever. I know, I eat them all the time now. It was a day that had a wind advisory and y'all, it was so windy. It was legit, you could stand diagonally and the wind would hold you up. Like certain complexes I looked at with rooftops would not allow you to go out that day because it was like a danger. And then like after the windstorm came through, there was a snowstorm. It was brief and it did not accumulate, but it just was this wild day of like weather ups and downs and just so much excitement and crazy emotion, and it was really cool to experience that with my mom. So I found the apartment that I am currently in. It was the one I had seen online that I had fallen in love with the photos, and when I walked in and I learned that the apartment that I'm currently in was available and that was a possibility, I really didn't think too much more. I knew this was the one. The way that it worked for me, and this is my piece of advice for anybody who has the capability to do this. I know not everyone does, but just being single and not being attached to really anything in my home. So I decided I was gonna basically sell everything I own and use the money I made off of the things that I sold to buy new. So many of the things that I had were hand-me-downs anyways. And I don't need as much because I was downscaling. I was going from a 1,600 square foot house to 405 square foot studio. I sold everything on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, everything, y'all, like down to food in my pantry. I had new stuff that I didn't want to move. I put it on there to say, hey, fridge full of stuff, 20 bucks. People came and got it. My mattress, my bed frame, rugs, my sofa, TVs, I sold it all. Dishes, pots and pans. I decided to save on moving costs by not renting a U-Haul. I knew I was gonna have my car up here. So I loaded up the car, blessed my neighbors and sweet friends who came by because wow, y'all, that car, I'm gonna drop a picture of how it like started. I didn't even get a picture of it actually completely filled. But when I tell y'all, I drove from Greensboro, North Carolina to Philadelphia, the long route, because I was afraid my car wasn't gonna make it and I couldn't. Guys, I drive a 2012 Toyota Corolla and that thing has over 200,000 miles on it. Shout out to that car, shout out Toyota, I'm a Toyota girl. Full-fledged ahead to Philly. So we made the move through the middle of the night. I was sitting, y'all, on vacuum sealed clothes with Sterling in this little cockpit behind me and my toolbox on my lap. Because again, this whole thing started because I wanted to like virtual scrapbook of my home because I love to DIY. My toolbox had to come. So the things that came with me were Urban Outfitters console. It was a 30th birthday gift from my parents. So I'm obsessed with my bar stools. So I made sure those came. Artwork that is like very personal and like important to me. Made that with like this. Like certain benches, like what I use as my coffee table right now. Another little stool I had. And then my clothes and sentimental things, photographs. But that is how I did it. So signed a lease for the room I'm in. My mom was great to suggest when I was here to get actual measurements, so not just the ones on the website, because those are sometimes just a little broad. So thinking about getting measurements and photos, so then that way I could go ahead and order things knowing that they would fit. So like, y'all, I knew that I wanted this sofa. I got it ordered so it didn't have to wait as long once I got here. So same thing with like my bed. Once I got here, my bed was waiting for me in our package room. Night 1 or 2, I had my bed set up so it felt like home immediately. I ordered a TV on Best Buy the day I got here, and the following day they came. I made sure to have my internet set up for the day I got here, so that it was very quick to feel like home, in the sense of I'm not sleeping on the floor. I'm able to put on Harry Potter. We've got a good spot for Sterling. And then you can have fun with the process of unpacking. And Sterling and I drove through the night, made it to Philadelphia in one piece, unloaded the car in the craziest way possible. First afternoon here, I met the sweetest person on the elevator who invited me to have wine on the roof with a group of girls from the building. And the friend I met was from Durham, North Carolina, which is where I went to grad school. My brother-in-law went to college there. My sister and brother-in-law got married there. I have so much love. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm from Durham. And it just, from the very minute I got to Philadelphia, I have felt like this is home. So this is a little bit about me and how I got to Philadelphia. I'm so happy you guys are here. It's a fun new journey. I've been on Instagram for a while, but YouTube is brand new to me. So bear with me as I learn. But on YouTube, you will be seeing all things Sterling, all things small space organization. Really help you guys realize you can create a home that feels like a happy little getaway that is calming and sparks joy. Sterling and I are so excited to hang out with you guys. I'll take you guys along with me as I navigate transitions in my life in Philadelphia. I know that this is the last year I will be in my studio. Please subscribe. Laugh with me as I navigate city living, having the time of my life. It's been so hard, but it's been so rewarding. And yeah, I want to encourage you guys to take risks, do things that you've always wanted to do. And I posted a tour a few days ago so you can see my 405 square foot studio apartment. Ask me any questions you have in the comments and I'm happy to answer. We really love it here. We are Eagles fans. Go Birds. Go Phillies. Go Sixers. We're having the time of our lives. We're going to concerts. We're exploring parks. We are meeting new friends. We are just having so much fun. So thank you for being here. Bye.